It is so important to me to ensure that this show only promotes positivity and love. Take this episode and use it to encourage yourself to listen to that inner voice, your intuition. Remember, intuition, by definition, is a thought before your brain overcomplicates things. It's literally our roadmap to happiness and success. All we have to do is learn to follow it. Together, we can reach our full potential and redefine life on our terms. Here's another show that's going to help you get even closer. Welcome to Inspired by Jimmy L. I am brave, I am proof, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. What can I say? Boyd Barlow is no spider, but he is certainly your friendly neighborhood man. Okay, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm telling the truth. Like, Boyd has traveled the U.S. living a dream that several people only deign to have, meeting Facebook friends in person along his journey, making their bond even closer. He is literally one of the most honest and humble people that I have ever come to meet. He shares with us his mindset behind being naturally nice and friendly. He also elaborates on how his gift has aided in profiting his business organically. Who knew that was a thing? Stay tuned. I'm sure that he'll be coming to a neighborhood near you soon. Let's find out.
You asked for it. You asked for it. All right, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful conversation with Inspired by Jimmy L. Today, we actually had, I almost called you a local. I'm not going to say local, but we have Mr. Boyd Barlow on with us today. And this guy is really interesting. And for me, he's taking his methods in building relationships, and he's really building them to a new level for me. So, Boyd, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's an honor. I have just loved ever since I've met you through social media and then had the privilege to meet you in person.
You did, which I was so excited about.
It was awesome. It's been such an amazing journey ever since I met you to get to know you more and more. It's just, it's been fun. I really enjoy it. I absolutely love your energy. It just fires me up every time I see one of your videos or your posts. So this is a true honor for me to be here.
My energy is very interesting. It comes and goes, so it's not 100% all the time. I'm working on that, though. I'm working on it.
We all have our moments.
Exactly. But Boyd, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I told, I think it was my mentor about you, and I was just like, I feel like Boyd is one of those guys that, like, he just would love to be 100% like buddies, friends with, like, all day long. Like, and I feel like that with you. Like, you're such an approachable person. But on the same time, I feel like I don't know you, which is the craziest thing. Like, those are two completely opposite, like, emotions happening at one time. So, who is Boyd? Like, where did you come from? Hello? Boyd? Did I lose you? Really?
Oh, there's audio.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
There we are.
Okay, so who are you, Boyd?
I am Boyd Barlow. I was born in Utah. I've lived in 6 states in the last 3 years. I was out in Tennessee when I met you first. I've traveled around a little bit in the U.S., and one of my big goals is to be able to have the financial freedom and time to travel the world. I haven't experienced very much. I didn't go to public school ever in my life. So I didn't really get, and the schooling I did go, I just didn't get high enough to really get much geography. I don't even know much about countries and what's out there. So it's extra fascinating to me to learn about new countries and cultures, and I want to travel to them and see them. So it's one of my big goals right now is to get into a position that I can travel.
Okay, so how is that going for you then?
Well, I'm a lot farther than I thought I'd be, even though it's halfway through the year. I made a goal that in 2018, if it's December 31st, I'm getting on a plane and I'm going overseas somewhere. I don't care if it's a weekend.
I was just about to say, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
I have a couple ideas now because I've been asking a lot of people, like, economically, what's going to be the cheapest, because it's been a stretch for me to get back on my feet. I just went through divorce last year. So I'm trying to like, get back on top of things, but I got my passport sent off for renewal just a couple of days ago, or was that yesterday? So yeah, I at least have that coming in, so I have that part of it done. And Thailand is probably one of the highest up on the list just because it's cheap. It's a pretty good culture. From several sources have told me that would be a good first option. So we'll see how it goes.
So okay, so I know you. We met here in Tennessee, and a lot of times or previous to that actually, but a lot of times when I was seeing you were just traveling like nonstop, like consistently. You're in that damn car. That's all that you saw, like being posted everywhere, and meeting different people that you found on Facebook, but meeting them in person. Like, why in the hell would you ever want to do that?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love meeting people, and I'm one of those people that sleep is boring. I realize I need it. I don't say I can't sleep out, but to me, I'm so full of life. Like, I love doing things that sleep is boring to me. Like, I would rather get up and drive all night. If I got to see, hang out. If I got to hang out with you, I would drive 14 hours tonight to meet you. Like, that's just that. It's so fun to me. So yeah, at the end of December, I did a lot of traveling. The last few months, it's been a little less, but been mostly out here in Utah. But yeah, I went clear to Tampa, Florida, right at the end last week of December. Back up, I was in Atlanta New Year's Eve. Back to Tennessee, loaded up a bunch of stuff with a trailer behind my little Civic and drove clear to Utah. And then the next following few days later, I drove clear to San Diego, California, and clear down to Southern California and back to Utah, all within less than 2 weeks. So I love it. But during that trip, I got to go down and hang out with some of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. In Florida, got to hang out at an event there. Back up into Atlanta, hung out with some amazing friends all of these people I met through social media. Got to hang out with them in New Year's Eve, stayed at some friend's house, had a blast. Same thing back down to San Diego to an event, saw some entrepreneurs speak. Like, ever since I've like really took on this entrepreneur journey and like just get out and talk to people, like get to meet people, it's been an amazing journey for me. I love it.
I want to get back to that in just a second, but before we move to that, so either you have some huge inheritance to be traveling back and forth across the country, or I don't know. I don't know about your responsibilities. I know you said you had a divorce last year, and I remember you and I talking about that. But anyway, that has nothing to do with this. But I'm like, responsibilities at home. I'm like, so what is it that's pushing you, or what is it that is allowing you to be able to do that?
So the main thing is
before you answer, you do know that that's the dream of so many people.
Well, it is. Go. Like, so for me, there's a couple things. I am single. I don't have a family responsibility. I don't even have my own place right now. I'm staying with my brother. So my living expenses and things are pretty minimal. I don't have a lot of stuff right now. I've had to get rid of a lot of it with moving in 6 different states in the last 3 years. So I kind of went down to a minimalist lifestyle. And then I have a car that gets 40 miles per gallon on the highway, so that helps. And I just figured out, I'm like, this is what I want to do. What does it take? What do I have to get there? And so I've cut my expenses down a lot. But one of the main things that I'm doing is to get to where I can do this more is through biohacking. It's a passion of mine, so it's allowing me to create residual income while I'm out on the road. So as long as I have cell service and I can talk to people, as I can get on the phone, I can send text messages, I can grow my business. And so that's been huge for me. I'm still pretty new into the stages of that, as far as like it hasn't really paid for all my travel yet, but it's going to allow me to continue that.
So what is biohacking? Like,
so
I see the shirt on you quite often.
It's my newfound passion. Like, I didn't even know that word existed. And the word itself means take a complex system, change something for a desired outcome. So it's quite a broad term in that sense, but it's a real catchy, it's a new phrase, so I love using it because the way I am biohacking is revolutionizing the health and wellness. So what we do is we're able to take 5 ingredients, natural, all plant-based ingredients, and the synergy of those, we have patents on them. We're able to biohack the aging code. Like, legit, the National Institute of Aging did a study on our product and said it's the only product that they've ever tested, natural product, that has been proven to extend life. Now that gets me all fired up, and I could go on about that for a while. But ultimately, it's the science of nutrigenomics. So we're taking nutrients and able to affect your gene expression. So when you have genetic issues, heart disease, my dad is a diabetic. My mother has had 2 heart surgeries from atrial fib. She had heart ablation surgeries. So my grandfather on my father's side died of a heart attack. So I'm 32. I'm pretty healthy as far as it goes. I don't really have any major health issues, but I know that they're in my family lines. And so for long as I can remember my whole life, those kind of things we were just told they're genetic. There's nothing, it's something we're passed down. But now for the first time, non-drug, surgical procedure, through a natural supplement, we're able to go in and activate our genetic pathway called the NRF2 pathway. And it's something that's crazy awesome. It's like one of those too good to be true type things. But I've been involved in it almost a year now, and I've been able to see the effects on people that has blown my mind. So it's something that is passion for me now.
2 things, and I don't even think we really talked about it, but I had the ablation surgery back in March.
Wow, I did not know that.
I know, most people did not know, but like New Year's Day, my husband and I were doing some dance moves, and I had to be rushed to the ER like on New Year's. And I found out that that's what it was, that I had or suffered from AFib at the time. And so I officially did the surgery back in March of this year, which is the craziest thing. But again, most people didn't know. Most people did not know. And it was a little scary, but at the same time, it was what had to be done. It was almost unheard of to be as young as I am, because I'm the same age as you. Hell, I'm not even 32 yet. So, it was like almost unheard of. So, but anyway, I'm saying that to say this, because that is a product that you are marketing. That is a product that you are actively, I don't want to say selling, but it's something that you're pushing and you're wanting to get out there. I consider myself to be a friend of yours, and I consider myself to be a person that, we talk quite often, and I never knew about that particular thing.
Should I tell you why? That's my method. I do not, people love to buy things, but people hate to be sold.
And now we're back from outer space. Okay. All right. Finally. Okay. Don't you just love just modern technology? Oh my gosh. Like, right there. We can't live without it. Like, well, maybe for like 30 minutes. But okay. So like right there with the good stuff, because that was actually when I said initially that I had 2 points that I wanted to bring up. That was my second point as to your reasons behind why you don't push the things that you're selling or marketing.
Okay, so back where I was. So for me, it's about friendships first. So in sales, I do not focus on transactions. I have products that are changing the world. I have something I'm excited about and passionate about. But if I come up to you and within, right away, within minutes, even a day or so, I pitch you on a product, it's going to feel like that's the only reason I became friends with you. Exactly. And to be honest, that like anybody, I get those friendships for the friendship. If they see something in me, what I'm doing, I create curiosity. I wear shirts. I post stuff randomly that create curiosity around biohacking, because I want people to ask me, but I don't want to talk anybody into buying anything or to doing any business with me.
But wouldn't that make you ultimately rich and so wealthy by just pushing your product? I'm sorry, that was talking.
Well, no, because that's and I get that, but so many people are so self-focused that they're like, transaction. They worry about the transactions, and they may get a sell out of somebody by guilt tripping them into it or getting them to do it to just, okay, I'll try it so you'll be quiet. But that's not long term. I'm after legacy. I don't care if I don't make $1 for the next 2 years. I'm like in it to build relationships that are going to last a lifetime, because I know that I have a product and I want, that's going to change their life. I don't want to push that on anybody. I just want to create that friendship, because beyond the product, the people I've met, like I say, I focus on building friends. That's it. And it's like my business over 15 times in volume last month. Just my biohacking business went from April to May over 15 times in volume. And most of that was because I put a lot of work in the last 8 months of just getting to know people. And then it's timing. Like that's another reason,
Yeah,
especially in the industry I'm in. If it's not the right time for somebody, they're not going to be open to it. And I don't want to try to talk somebody into it
exactly.
and just push them away as a friend. I want to,
Hmm.
I want to build friendships. So that's how I do it. And that's what exactly I love that you didn't know, because I do that on purpose, not because I'm ashamed of the industry or the product I have, because it's quite the opposite. I don't want to push people away. I want to build that friendship first. If it's something they want to do, they'll come to me. And that's how I focus it. So I hope
I
that
love
answers that
that.
good.
It does. It does. It makes me really excited. Like I'm borderline pissed that I had to go through my quote unquote heart surgery. but I'm really glad that that's the type of person that you are. And I know that you and I kind of briefly discussed it when we were at Starbucks here in Tennessee. And like so I knew a portion of the business, and I knew a portion of what you did. We really didn't talk about it. Like you brought it up that that's what you were doing, and I think it was probably because I asked. But that was really it. That was really it. And we
Yep.
really hadn't heard anything else. Well, I haven't heard anything else about it until you wear the shirt, and then I have to ask. Like what does that mean? So I'm really glad that you were able to say that here as well. So, but I love
Love
that.
it.
So have you always had that mindset to build relationships?
Um, that's a good question. I've never really focused on it or thought about it, but it might be more natural to me. But it's been the funnest thing I've done. Like it's the first time I've intentionally just tried to make friendships with just random
Right.
strangers. Like I grew up in a very sheltered religious group my whole life,
Hmm.
so I didn't, we did business, we would go out and do things, but we made an intention not to associate with people outside of our church, a very small church. But so 3 years ago, for the first time, I left the church. I was able to be kind of out on my own. And so about a year ago, when I was introduced to this, it was a little bit new to me more than anything. Just the whole, just talking to random people, making friends with people I never knew. But then once I actually started doing it, it's been the funnest thing I've ever done. Like it's so crazy, like beyond the business and all the things, like just to get to know people, like me and you knowing each other and having this conversation would have never happened if I hadn't just made a conscious effort to. And so it's been
Yeah.
absolutely life changing for me.
So, okay, speaking of relationship, because it's one of the things that I love too. So it's really kind of ironic that we quote unquote found each other, quote unquote, because I love it. I love that. Like I found out was my gift. I found out that was my passion, simply building relationships. And then what what I do with that information later on is a completely different story, but I love that. Like I freaking love that. I love talking to people, and I love making sure that I maintain the relationships. It's more fun to me than anything. So it's just really interesting that we found each other on that. But question, within building relationships, mending relationships, making new relationships, maintaining relationships, what has probably been your, I'm going to say, biggest challenge with that, or biggest lesson with that?
Try to see things in other people's point of views. Try not to just, try to understand why they're doing what they're doing. Because I see so many times people go and get offended or have a big opinion why, somebody shouldn't have done or said something. And I always try to put myself in their shoes. Like, why? Why would have they done or said that? And thinking back, I probably have had more of a gift for this of just, getting along with people, because jobs I've worked at, other people around me just had such a problem with a manager. And I'm like, the things that they would say that there was a problem, he would come and ask him questions that were kind of obvious, or was, a little bit. I'm like, but to me, it was like he might be a little bit annoying at the worst. But why is that such a problem that I had colleagues quit working with me in it was a sign shop because of a manager? And I'm like, I really get along with him. I think he's awesome. But I noticed that on several jobs. Like I just get along with people because I try to see their point of view and put myself in their shoes. And then 99% of the time, it just makes sense of what they're doing. Even if it isn't something I would do in their shoes, I can understand why. And then, I don't know, empathy is huge for me.
And I love that. Because they're people. Like we are all human beings. And if we can really just tap into that and to be able to look at each other, no matter what your political, or religious background or whatever, like if you can just see each other as a human being, I think you can really at least I hope that we can really change the world. You know what I mean? With that mindset of being able to do that. So I love
Definitely.
that you said that. I love that you said that. Way to go, boy! Like, way to go! Way to go! So, okay. So wait a second. Now you said
Awesome.
you had a strict religious background. I know you and I know we talked about it, and it's kind of crazy, completely ironic, and completely off topic. But the author that you introduced me to, Calvin. I just did an interview with him. I did not know that you all had the same religious background. I had no clue
Yes.
on that. So I spoke to him about his and how lessons, that he's learned from it and certain things that he's using with it now. So I'm going to ask you the same, completely ironic. So is there anything that's from the religion or from your past, I should say, that you're still implementing today? Because you're no longer practicing that religion, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Yes, definitely. I think that for me, it's been just the learning to be, what's the best word? Like the core values to me that I was taught growing up, being kind to everybody, being, just, I think I never really heard the word empathetic so much growing up, but thinking of that word, like we were just taught to treat everybody kind and like, I don't know, to me, it's like given me, and then work ethic. Like I feel like that's given me a huge, huge edge on life. I didn't go to public school. We didn't date. We didn't go to prom. So a lot of culturally things that we just didn't do. But for me, carrying through, I guess to answer your question, the things that I still do from my religion that I practice daily is just empathetic. Like I love to care about people. Like it doesn't matter who they are, what family, what background, like just really people or, care. So that's for me is the main thing.
Okay, so I know personally now I'm getting off into my meditating, and it's definitely changed my life. Whew, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So do you practice anything like that now, whether meditating or staying in the moment
I
or whatever?
want to.
Okay.
So I've downloaded an app about meditating. I've done it a couple, maybe a dozen mornings sporadically, but it's something that I've learned a lot from you, from a lot of people that have, Calvin especially, that's said it's very important and changed their life. And I get and understand why, but it's something I haven't implemented yet fully. But
You're
it's
not
something
feeling
I want to
pressure to do so, are you?
No. It's
Okay.
definitely something that's been on my list, and I've been trying to get more into the habit of it and get my life a little more routine that way. But
Gotcha.
I haven't.
Gotcha. I got you. And thank you for that damn book, by the way. When I say actually,
Hey.
well, you probably can't sit over here. I was finishing up an audio, and I don't know why I didn't put your name in there, but I was finishing up an audio, and I was typing or talking about the book, and like that book is just like probably one of maybe three in my life that has actually changed my life and how I look at things. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I was thinking about the miracle morning, and I was going to bring that up to you in regards to rituals and morning routine and so forth. But that was the very first book that started me on that journey.
Lewis Howes thing?
That was actually Hal Elrod.
Okay.
That was Hal Elrod. Freaking amazing man. Even more recently, what's the big guy's name? Think and Grow Rich. Who is
Lewis
that?
Howes? Oh, Think and Grow Rich. There's
Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh, okay.
He's now also looking at Hal Elrod and thinking about the things that he's doing. But anyway, just bringing it up. It just popped in my mind when you were talking about meditating and finding a routine, a morning routine. But the Miracle Morning is definitely a suggestion that I would urge you to read.
Love it.
Yeah. So okay, so I do have a question that I ask all of my guests, and I would love to know your opinion. So I know that you're big on building relationships and so forth, and your empathy, and I get it. I want to ask this question though: what does success and happiness look like for you? Because obviously you've met an array, like a rainbow of different people, and I'm sure that everybody has their own unique definition. But how does that look for you? How does that look for Boyd?
So success to me, and I've thought about this quite a bit for the last year especially, is not money. I think money is definitely on my radar to grow my empire and do things that I want to do with it. But to me, it's about having the time to do what I want. and that takes a certain amount of money to have enough time. But to me, to have the time freedom to where I can live comfortably and do what I love doing, which is helping people in whatever form or fashion. I've found, ways to do with biohacking, but there's a lot of other things. I would love to go down to Mexico and help build houses. Like, there's some really cool things that are in my future planning that, go to help people that, can't. So growing up, a little quick side story, we did every Saturday, there was projects organized in the community because all the homes were not financed. They were built from the ground up. So some people were living in half-finished houses. So we would go to our friends and family in the local church and everything. Every single Saturday, there was crews organized. We would go to somebody's house and hang sheetrock. We would go do some plumbing. We would go put a roof on. We would go frame it. We would do any form of construction, go put a fence up for them. And so that to me, we looked forward to that every weekend. We would get together, people would have time off of work, and we would do Saturday projects. And so that, at the core of me, is something I really love doing, with no return, no expectation, just going and doing something to bless somebody else. And so I feel like success to me is when I can have enough time freedom to be able to go do those kind of things for other people with my own personal time and efforts. That's when I would feel, success. And to me, success isn't a place. It's at a point where you're able to be successfully on that journey, continuing. There's no end to success for me. No plateau.
I like the journey. I like that. I really like, and it's kind of me. I'm the same way. And I was listening to you, and it's something that I guess I had an aha moment. Because I know that you're bringing up your past and you're bringing up your previous religion, and I understand that you don't 100% practice that now. And I know we spoke when you were here, and my official background was as a Jehovah's Witness. And listening to you talk about the building aspect of your religion or your past religion, there was kind of the same philosophy with the Jehovah's Witnesses. They really didn't do the loans. The entire congregation would get together to build a new kingdom hall, and to, whatever they needed, they really kind of stuck together. And it's really interesting that you and I have very similar mindsets. It's very interesting to me to hear that these religions, quote unquote, are very, very similar, but neither one of us are still practicing it. And so again, my aha moment was more so along the lines of a lot of these religions, or yours and mine in particular, kind of like almost had it right, but didn't quite just get it.
Right.
Like it's about all of us and not singling out any particular religion. It's really about all of us coming together and having a human experience. And so I like, there was a big freaking aha moment for me, like listening to you say that. So I know I'm rambling, but I just had to share that very quickly. And I don't know why. Yeah. But wow. Okay. So final question for you. So is there any type of advice that you would, or you don't mind sharing to other people that are wanting to build relationships, that are wanting to kind of break out of their shell to do what you're doing and to have relationships without expecting anything in return?
Absolutely. And the number one thing is now. Don't wait. Don't wait till you have enough money. Don't wait till the end of something you're in the middle of. The problem with going on a journey of time freedom, of entrepreneurship, of traveling the world, whatever step, that growth, whatever that is to you, whether that's from making $2,000 a month to making $5,000, whatever step in life you've set as a goal is growth. Don't wait till anything. Second that you can decide that, you can do it. Mel Robbins' book, The 5-Second Rule, I absolutely love, because that mindset, once you decide I need to do this, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm going to do this. And that's probably the number one thing. And Calvin talks about it. Jump. Don't wait for a good time, because there'll be issues. Maybe if hypothetically you save up and this and you're going to do that, and it might on paper look a little bit better to start this business or do this thing. But the biggest journey that you're going to grow through isn't figuring out the finances and stuff. It's your mindset. So start now. The sooner you start that journey, the sooner you'll have success. So
all right, look at you. All right, boy. That's what I'm talking about, boy. That's what I'm talking about right there. Throwing down some good old knowledge. Like, I like that. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Why did we do this a long time ago?
Yeah.
I think
We should
just
have.
we
We
should
should
have.
do it
But
more often.
I like seriously, we really do. So I agree. And next time doesn't need to be recorded though.
Love it. Anytime.
So how can people get a hold of you, Boyd?
Boyd Barlow on Facebook. Let's think. I do have my
Wait a
website
second, Boyd.
registered, but there's nothing up there.
How in the hell do you not know how people can connect with you? How is that possible?
I just exist over here and I'm happy when people take the time to look. So I'm a little bit humble that way, but I don't even know what my actual. I don't know if I actually have a full website thing, but it's Boyd Barlow on
Do you
Instagram,
use it?
and I use Instagram quite a bit
Okay,
actually.
okay. No, I'm talking about the website.
Yeah.
The website.
Oh, so BoydBarlow.com. I mean, if you go to it, it'll forward to like a Google Sites thing that just says "Live Your Daydream" at the top. I think is all I have up. I'd something I actually probably in the next month or so I'm going to do some work on and get my email and stuff so that there's at least something, my name, part of my personal branding journey, which is really more of a thought pattern at this point. I haven't really started it. Kind of building my story, and so that will come.
As soon as you get it, though, well, by the time that this airs, hopefully it'll be completely up, and have something on there.
Okay.
But I'll definitely be linking that up. It's definitely along with the Facebook and the Instagram. But I'll definitely be linking that up. Well, thank you, Boyd, for saying yes. How about that? Thank you.
Thank you. It's been awesome.
Oh my goodness. I hope you took notes with me on that one, because that was some serious knowledge. If you have not already, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to our channel on iTunes or your favorite podcasting source. Also, visit us on Facebook, Instagram, or you can even catch the live conversations right there on YouTube. See you again soon. Until next time, let's make positivity even louder.